Aquarius, hi. So everything is undoubtedly about to change for you. People's been speaking about the age of Aquarius, since like the early 70s. So everything is about to change, which is quite exciting. This is your 2021 reading, so seeing what is the new year bringing for you, collectively for the energy of Aquarius. And, also I know that in readings we always say that, maybe it resonates, maybe it doesn't resonate. But I just really wanted to also make you aware of the fact that with tarot, it sort of like explains how you got to where you currently are. And then it lets you know what's coming towards you. So sometimes the reading doesn't resonate when you actually look at it initially, but then afterwards it actually starts to make, sense a lot sometimes. However, look at it, and if it really doesn't resonate, you can have a look at your free natal chart, which is in the link down below. That explains the different placements for you. You can maybe look at that different readings, see how that resonates with you. And yeah, there's also a link for AC Digital Marketing Solutions in the description, which is my beautiful best friend that makes all my really funky, mind-blowing, beautiful thumbnails. I mean, if you look at the thumbnail that I have at the moment for 2021, it's beautiful. All right, so we're first going to draw for you an oracle card from the spellcasting oracle deck. I actually bought this oracle card specifically for these readings. Then we're going to look at your tarot, and then we're going to finish off with an oracle card as well as a direct message from the universe. So quite a jam-packed message there for you that we're looking towards 2021 for you, Aquarius. Let's see what we got. All right, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Adrian. I'm an intuitive healer. I practice holistic wellness and spiritual regression hypnosis. And I really want to say thank you. Like 2020 was such a challenging year, and I've grown, and my brand itself has grown so much in 2021 or in 2020 or 2021. But 2020 that and it's all thanks to the beautiful support that all of you all gave me. So any likes, shares, subscriptions, whatever, really, I appreciate all of it. I'm very grateful. Okay, all right, waiting to see what's coming out here for you. And there we go. There's also one that flipped around here, so I want to see what that is. This is interesting. This card came out for Scorpio. What's a Scorpio? No, it wasn't Scorpio. Pisces, sorry. This card came out for Pisces. And then there's also a second card that came out for you. So Aquarius, which obviously makes perfect sense, is that your psychic ability is expanding. But when we speak about psychic ability, it's really the truth of who you are, who you are at your core. It is that magic that you are born with that's unlocking, what is that word that people often use for it, your light language encoding. It's sort of like it's activating. It's your potential, your life potential. That sort of, magic that we have, that we all have. Humans have incredible capability that is completely not tapped into as much as it can be. And so that in a sense is you really your life unfolding in ways that you never would have imagined. And the wonderful thing, as we sort of link in with our psychic, flow, is not so much that, we get a feeling about this and get a feeling about that, and oh guys, I feel I shouldn't go here, and I feel when you work with psychic ability, which is what we all have, so it's working with a part of who you are, with a greater part of who you are, your life begins to flow. You happen to be at the right place at the right time. You happen to meet the right person because you are in flow with your life plan, with your soul plan, with your incarnation purpose. All right, and there's a lot of whatever might be holding you back, a lot of people might have been, sort of like doing you wrong, just this past year, past 2 years, maybe throughout life, things from childhood, things that are hurting, things that are still there in your mind, things that you're having difficulty, coming to terms with. it's time to, it's amazing because it's almost like those things are sort of like dissipating on their own, where you are beginning to see the lessons for for everything that happened, all those difficult experiences that happened, all those times that you felt let down, where others maybe sometimes, through the way that you lived life together, you felt that maybe you weren't good enough, that you weren't adding up. Sorry. It's beautiful because you are beginning to see the lessons. I'm so sorry. I think I'm getting a little bit of flu there. But I'll keep on taking some of my natural herbs. But this is where, this is that beautiful phase where, we have a sort of like a preparatory sort of stage that we go through up to a certain point, and you kind of at that point where preparation time is done now. It's like when you go to school or university or take a course or whatever. You're done now, you pass the exam, and it's graduation time. All right, let's just see which tarot card deck we're going to use for your reading. Deck number 2. All right, so that is the Gilded Tarot that we're going to use for your reading to see what are the lessons. For me, life is about focusing forward. It's about going forward. But one of the best ways in which we can go forward in life is to also, understand what is that brought us to where we are. What are the lessons? Okay. This is quite interesting. So, what brought you to where you are is really the twin flame journey. Okay. Now, normally when I speak about the twin flame journey, it is about the relationship that you have with yourself, the inner relationship that you have with yourself, the relationship between your divine male and your divine feminine. Divine feminine, like the more emotional parts represented sort of by like the moon, and divine male, the more sort of logical parts represented by the sun. But in this particular case, a beautiful love connection brought you to where you currently are. Okay? A beautiful, honest connection that has been made. And there's a sense of moving forward here, moving forward, choosing yourself, moving forward in your strength, this is your current energy, moving forward in your emotions, growing in those emotions, understanding the value of, choosing yourself, investing in yourself, placing yourself first. I feel that for many of you, you may have, placed many others first, and it was more, it's almost like an act of goodwill, really, and it was well intended, in often cases too. But there's a sense of going forward, it's coming towards you as you move into this new year. There's very much a sense of moving forward. And for many of you, not for all of you, but for many of you, there's a sense of moving forward in the sense of, it's almost like venturing into yourself, into your own potential, into your own abilities and capabilities and possibilities, and obviously as we do these things, leading with our heart, that is how we actually create the future. That is how we align ourselves with those miracles and those blessings and abundance and synchronicities and all this, whatever word it is that you really want to use, that has been available for you before you were even born, that has been like sort of perfectly, built into your life plan, into your life possibilities. And so where you are right now, this is an incredible turning point. Now, with this love, I have to go and look at it because it may be love that put you on the path. I just don't know if the love is going with you. But it's also as you're venturing into 2021, this could be an incredible year, a lot of success for you. I feel that for some of you, your vision might have been, sort of clouded. And so it's almost like you took a pre-class to the sort of, venture that you're going into right now. Because yes, you graduated, but now you're going to a new class which you are very ready for, or like more experiences, that you're really sort of ready for. And so it's almost like, you needed to learn how to, yes, lead with the heart, but not exactly sort of, just leave your mind behind, to lead emotionally with logic, to in a logical way keep the emotions in a healthy sort of flow. So yes, keeping them intact, but in a healthy way. Now, your overall energy speaks about your growing relationship with others. There's very sort of like internal blockages that might have been holding you back for some time, overthinking, overanalyzing, which obviously leads to a lot of sort of like anxiety, because it's like overfeeling in a sense. And so for many of you, especially those of you that were struggling, obviously with senses of anxiety, feeling very overwhelmed. And please don't get me wrong, I'm not making light when it comes to mental health, because it's such an important thing. But I'm just talking about many of you that were feeling very overwhelmed by life, and sort of feeling that maybe you'd rather kind of like remain in your own cocoon, wouldn't go out into life so much, because when you're here, you are fine. There is expanding. Actually, I can actually use this example. A beautiful person that I know who is actually an Aquarius was actually mentioning to me more than once that this person feels, that, that they need to work on their communication. And so in a sense, that sort of communication, the interaction that you have with others, that is really, really busy expanding in a beautiful, beautiful way. And people are beginning to see you in a very different light that you might not even be, aware of yet. They sort of placing you on quite a high sort of pedestal, and I feel that a lot of you may have had very sort of discord kind of experiences with people in the past before, where there was sort of like misunderstanding that these people were sort of placing you on this very high kind of pedestal, and you may not have been that comfortable being there. But there's also misunderstanding, where you, for example, may think that people didn't like you, and it's not even so much that they might have felt threatened by you, possibly, but it's more that people saw you in this very sort of elevated light, this very elevated sort of way of being and living, and they may have not been quite sure how to approach you, feeling a little bit sort of out of your league. And I feel that many of you are really beginning to get that, and it's the understanding that obviously changes everything. And it's also when you understand that why people sometimes feel kind of funny with you, that also that its understanding can actually bring a lot of healing in a situation sometimes, because you actually understand the problem. You're not having a misconception. All right, let's clarify. Let's use these beautiful MUSE Tarot cards to clarify. Aren't they beautiful? By Chris Ann, who also made the Lightseers Tarot. And I see she's got this beautiful deck out now as well, which is this, I think it's a Seer's Oracle. Very, very beautiful. I haven't seen them in real life yet, but she does beautiful work. And so whatever personal interaction you would have had here before in the past, what brought you to where you currently are, this was a big game changer, and the thing about big game changers are they often, those beautiful experiences that turn sort of unexpectedly, very unsavory, and they leave us with many, many questions, a lot of sort of doubting ourselves sometimes for the way that they are unfolding. Yeah, you were brought very much, face to face with your emotions, with your inner emotions, those deeper emotions. And whatever this connection was, it really sort of cut, right through, sort of like all the different layers. So especially for those of you that had challenges with a romantic situation, so you, as we all obviously do, you have challenges with a romantic situation, but you sort of deal with it and you move on from there. This is one of those connections that you had that would have cut all the way down through all the layers victorious, like you couldn't fool anybody. You know, you could definitely not fool yourself here anymore. This is really, you know, and this would be what's preparing you for the space that you are going on the moment, you know, where you are going, which is moving forward, because it's a lot of those things that were holding you back. Childhood patterning, you know, previous unresolved feelings, emotions, really a lot of loose ends were being tied up through that connection. And usually when we have a situation like that, it's anything but pleasant. But I feel where you are right now, we're going to clarify that, but where you are right now, you're probably beginning to see the purpose and the actual value of that lesson, and where you might have really hated that person or that situation before. It doesn't only have to be romance. It could be somebody that you're quite close with, you know, family, friends. You know, maybe you saw that you finally found that person who could really actually be your friend, and you made that connection. It turned out very different to, you know, to what you thought it might be. So whatever brought you to that really deep, sort of profound disappointment, it also you began to get clarity. You know, I wouldn't say that you were arrogant or anything like that, but it's almost like when we look, you know, it's almost like you were looking at things and you're seeing the view and whatever, but maybe the mirror's a little bit foggy, you know, and a little bit steamed up or dusty or whatever. Or, you know, you're wearing glasses and you're not wearing the glasses at the moment, and when you put them on, there's a sense of clarity that you started to get from this, realizing that, you know what, maybe there's things that I need together. Maybe there are things within myself that are lacking, you know. Maybe I'm not this 100% sort of straight, you know, flying arrow as I would have always, you know, prided myself on being. And it's hard because a lot of times we have to look inside and we have to look at the parts of us where, you know, we're not really sort of doing as well as we might have thought we're doing all along, you know, and it can be quite an overwhelming sort of thing. But it was preparing you for where you currently are, and for this beautiful journey that you're taking going forward. Because it's, in a sense, when I look at your journey coming towards your 2021 journey, this is you venturing out into the world. This is you venturing into success. This is you venturing into incredible things, and this is also you having beautiful experiences from showing a lot of courage, because a lot of the things that you're experiencing or that you're moving towards, you're not 100% sure where you're actually heading. You know, so you're heading, then you're positive and you're motivated, but you're not sure where you're actually heading. Yeah. And I love this because as you're moving forward, there are obviously things coming up, you know, that are holding you back, patterning that are holding you back. It's almost like there's like a shield around you, you know, like this protective sort of walls around you. And as you go forward, it's almost like, you know, it's a very sort of watery Piscean sort of energy, but it's as you move forward, you are connecting with parts of yourself more and more and more. You know, that beautiful parts that you may have had, you know, as a child, those beautiful dreams that you had, that beautiful innocent person that you may have been, that somehow through the process of living, you somehow lost almost like the essence of you quite a lot, and you're getting that back. You are surrendering to that. You are realizing that it's that the lessons have been learned. There's more patience. There is a beautiful sense of allowing things to come to you. There's more structure that comes into your life, and I really honestly see your life expanding in beautiful, beautiful, beautiful ways. I mean, look at that strength card over there. This is you moving forward. Within your strength, allowing the beautiful things to come to you instead of you feeling that you have to, constantly sort of go towards it. This is you really immersing in the process of life. And again, as that card, had in the beginning, your forgiveness card, it is as you are moving forward, as you are venturing forward, as you are moving more and more into yourself. With that psychic ability card there, it's this is a beautiful step that I speak about often, and I'm quite passionate about it, that what might have been holding you back before, what might have been your crutch before, is now becoming your strength. It's becoming your next step. All right, it's actually quite beautiful. Let's see about what's coming towards you, because there's also this beautiful overall energy. there's lots of relationships, high relationships that are being repaired in 2021. So, you know, either maybe, you know, somebody disappointed you, let you down, hurt you, betrayed you, you know, stole from you, you know, family issues, breakups, all those type of things. Those relationships are actually repairing, which is actually really, really amazing. I was just going to go close the window now because I think my neighbors are vacuuming, but it's all good. And wonderful. There is divine intervention coming through, new adventures, money, stability, new career, improving health. The relationship with yourself expands more and more and more. Many of you have been working really, really hard, you know, maybe just to make ends meet. And I feel beautiful sort of surprises coming your way, you know, not accepting the limitations that you would have accepted before. Going to a space where, in a sense of confidence and knowing what you are, you know, your worth and your value is, say, I'm not going to do this, you know, I'm going to move forward. I don't accept this limited, you know, incarnation for myself. And as you say that, you know, you are also realizing when the obstacles are coming up for you, that this is why they're coming up. They're coming up to be healed. All right. Yeah. Really, especially for those of you that were struggling with emotions, struggling with forgiveness, beautiful sense of, almost like a sense of decorum really coming through, you know, as you make peace with those things that you have so wonderfully confirmed there, but the Five of Emotions in reverse, which is the Five of Cups. Making peace with yourself for the times that you didn't actually know any better. You know, that you did from the best that you knew how. Maybe a lot of blaming yourself, grudges inside towards yourself. There's a lot of forgiveness there. You know, I'd like to encourage you to stand in front of a mirror, a big one if you can, and for anyone really, and to say, I forgive myself. Focus on the positive things, you know. Let's see what we're using for you for an oracle card. We're going to use the, what is this called? The Sacred Traveler. Beautiful oracle deck that has been a gift to me by my sister. I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed. Like all these beautiful things, you know. So we're going to draw you an oracle card, and then we're going to get you finish off with a message from the universe, Aquarius. And if it resonates with you, you know, you're more than welcome to like, share, comment, and subscribe for your 2021 reading. Oh, look at what this is saying. Keep going forward, beautiful motivation. And it says ascending the mountain. You know, this is you going, for those of you that we used to watch like the Lion King back in the day, you know, this is Simba sort of like climbing that mountain. And it reminds me very much of when I used to be younger, because I grew up in the country and it was beautiful because it was safe. We didn't have to worry about crime or all those type of things, which is literally heaven on earth. And so, you know, this is like going up there early in the mountain, you know, waking up really, really early before the sun comes out. And by the time the sun comes out, you're already on that mountain. So a lot of the preparation that you've been doing, a lot of the, you know, especially that past situation, that hurt that brought you to where you are, this was you climbing that mountain. And where you are at the moment, and more so as you go along, is that sun that's starting to come out, that light that's starting to come out. Those first, you know, like when you look at the sort of like at the sky before the sun comes out, you know, and you first get all these hues of like colors that come across, and like lights, like the clouds and stuff, before you get that first rays of sunlight come out. And those first rays of sunlight are busy coming out for you at the moment, and it just shines brighter and brighter and brighter as you actually go along. Okay, let's get you a message from the universe, but it cannot be 20 cards, which is why I put those back. Let's see. So you got 5 of Pentacles. You got the Empress, you got the 3 of Pentacles, and you've got the Queen of Swords at the bottom. So this is also you. It's almost like you going to that next step, you know, still having that beautiful analytical mind, that thinking and everything that you want to have, but you know, instead of sometimes thinking so much that you almost think yourself into a tight spot, this is you using exactly who you are, but you know, using that brilliant mind of yours for your benefit. It's about understanding that if there's anything holding you back as you're going forward into 2021, that the key for you is always there. But you know, it's about having emotions, yes, but also not being too illogical, because the key for you to get out is right there. This is you realizing that, you know, this is you realizing that, you know, when difficult things are coming your way, that it is those final stages towards the next beautiful thing. This is you realizing that life is always a new beginning, that there's you know, wonderful things that you can get from all these new beginnings if you choose to work with the energy of life. So I really think that 2021 is going to be an absolutely amazing year for you. Probably more brilliant than you could possibly imagine, because you are ready to really experience that amazing light. So may it be the most wonderful year that you ever had. And so it is. Namaste. Love and light.